Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Don 773 TV. You're definitely in the place to be. Before we get started, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Today I want to talk about these Chicago street takeovers. They just had one recently. And you know, it's been making a little waves on social media. And I want to compare them to the so-called teen takeovers. Because I've been noticing something. When it's a bunch of black kids gathering, that gets heavy news coverage, heavy media coverage. But when it's these takeovers with these cars, doing donuts in the middle of the street, people standing on cars, vehicles getting tore up, that often get less media coverage, and I wonder why. For real. So before we go any further, y'all check this out, because it's very brief.
Police are investigating a car fire that may have been set on purpose during a gathering on the city's south side. It happened early Sunday morning in the 1600 block of West 76th Street. It's in the Auburn-Gresham neighborhood. And you can see people gathered around that car that's engulfed in flames. Police say no one was inside and no one was hurt, but CPD's arson unit is investigating.
So that's that. And they say they investigating. And that's about the only news clipping I've seen of this. So yeah, the incident got some coverage, but most of the coverage came from social media. And that's the part I wanted to talk about. Because these takeovers, they happen on the regular. People posting them, sharing them, talking about them online. But they don't always get covered like they should. And look, I got some more clips. I got some actual footage. I got some footage from that takeover I actually want to play for you guys. Let me pull it up, because the news only had, you see how brief it was. They don't really want to talk about it, but I'm going to show y'all. They out there down there blowing cars up. So this is footage that's circulating on social media. They out there blowing up cars.
Damn, what the fuck they doing?
So this is a main intersection on the south side of Chicago. They just took it over. Then after they blew the car up, they proceeded to do donuts in the car. So yeah. Now look at that. That's just not kids hanging out. That's straight chaos. Moving cars, fires, crowds of people around the action. And somehow these takeovers still don't get treated with the same energy as these teen takeovers. And I wonder, is this because it's mostly Hispanics? Y'all pay attention to the footage. I got some more clips. And I'm playing these clips. I want y'all to pay attention to the faces out there. So yeah, the teen takeovers they've been going on for years in Chicago, downtown Chicago specifically. Because don't get me wrong, sometimes things can go too far. They can go left. I ain't gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. The kids get rowdy, property get damaged, and it's always some knuckleheads. Some one of them might have a gun or something. You know it all. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's just a peaceful march. Yeah, we've had some violence surrounding those takeovers, but I truly feel that these street takeovers are more dangerous. And I'm not acting like it's okay. They hanging out, moving in large crowds, smoking, and some might be they might have a little drink. Yeah, and I want to show y'all. Let me play a clip about the teen takeovers for the family. Y'all check it out. If y'all rocking with me, make sure y'all subscribe, man. Shout out to the church mob. Check this clip out right here, though. This is talking about the teen takeovers here in Chicago.
It was a loud and very busy night here in the Loop that prompted a large police response, as you mentioned. I want you to take a look at this video here. It was posted on the Citizen app. It was at around 9:30 last night when a large group of people were seen gathered in the Loop. You can also see Chicago police officers on scene, many of them on bikes. This group also didn't just stay in one place. They actually moved around through the Loop all night. At one point, video also showed emergency vehicles near this group, but it's unclear whether that was related to this gathering. It's also unclear at this point who was a part of this gathering, including their names and ages. Now, we did speak with Justin Peters with Chi-Town Crime Chasers, who says he saw this all happen. Listen.
Well, we got about 200-300 kids just running back and forth, jumping on cars, just fighting, taunting the police. And it got pretty bad to the point me and my team actually witnessed the little boy actually getting stumped out.
So they out there fighting, having fist fights.
I had to render aid to him. We have to call an ambulance for this boy. It's frustrating.
That can go left fast.
This is something, an occurrence that's been happening quite a lot for lately. This is the third month of the year, and we done had several teen takeovers, especially in the downtown area, where the same events is happening. More shootings, kids getting shot. I actually had one of the boys that I mentor get shot at the last teen takeover, and so it's devastating.
Well, guys, this all comes as the city council is still working to pass a revised curfew ordinance aimed at preventing teen takeovers. The new ordinance would allow
curfew ordinance and all type of drag when it comes to the black teens. When these takeovers going in the middle of the street, they act like they don't see it. Yeah, when it's black kids gathering, you know, they get framed like a major problem, get heavy coverage, big outrage, everybody acting like the city is under attack. And let's keep it a buck. A lot of it is because these are black kids. We just got to keep it a buck. And then I want to bring up J-Roy. J-Roy is a young man out of Chicago. He was throwing gatherings around the west side of Chicago. It wasn't many, maybe 2 or 3. And that made news coverage. It got heavy news coverage. And they was trying to get this kid fired from his job. From what I understand, he worked with kids. He had some type of job in the school system with CPS or something. And from my personal observation, I've witnessed 1 or 2 of these takeovers. I seen it with my own eyes. And this is why I'm bringing them up, because I actually witnessed it, and what I saw was hundreds of kids, large crowds all over the place. Some smoking, some might even had a little drink. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all. But they kid behavior, man. I didn't see anything strange. Them kids was out there dancing. And the later it got, y'all will be surprised. And it's the honest to God truth, man. We sat there and watched them kids on my porch. They was walking past, respectful. And the later the night got, they started having foot races in the middle of the street. When they start racing, the little girls will start twerking and all of this shit. And they was running up and down the street, man, being kids. Once again, don't get me wrong. I know there's some knuckleheads out there that it can go wrong. But this guy had a couple events no issues, no one was harmed, and there was one event where it was some problems. And when they start locking people up for the things that happened, it turned out these were some old people, old niggas. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And I think one of these people was a Hispanic, had did something to a couple kids out here preying on the weed. But yeah, I just wonder how I had to raise that point. They had such an urgency to, try to blame this kid for what was going on, but these street takeovers are just ignored. They had a lot of energy for that kid. They wanted consequences. They wanted somebody to blame. Like I say, meanwhile, with these car takeovers, where things are more dangerous, the energy is nowhere near the same. And that's why I'm making this comparison, because these car takeovers are not harmless. These are not just people hanging out. These involve moving cars, blocking intersections, crowds of people in the streets, real chances of people getting hurt or killed. Let me play another clip from one of these takeovers for y'all. Y'all pay attention, and like I say, look at these faces. Watch the faces. Look at the faces you see. And these go on all over Chicago. I'm gonna mute it because I'm gonna continue to talk. Y'all just pay attention. Look at these people. Look at this. Will you see them? They got 30s out there, and pay attention to who's out there. You don't see who you don't see out there. How about that? Man, look. This is what I mean. This ain't isolated. This happens in different parts of the city. The south side, west side, north side, downtown. These takeovers happen all over Chicago. They had one not too far from my home, where I stay at on the west side. Yeah, right here on Madison Street. Madison, for those who not from Chicago, not familiar, Madison is the divider for north and south of the city. Same thing here, streets blocked. Matter of fact, let me pull the clip up for y'all, because it's definitely a clip. Let me get that going. Y'all check this out, family. Now, this ain't too far from me. They all over the city doing this. And it's the clip.
Now look, police coming.
The police coming. They start running to their cars. Y'all pay attention. Look at the faces you see. Please pay attention to the faces. Police pulled up with their lights on. And they basically allowed these people to escape. Yeah. So they let them bag all down the block. And this is year round. Y'all see it's snowing out there. This guy's in a snowplow. They do this year round. The teens only come out when the weather allows them to. A lot of these kids using public transportation to get back and forth. Man, please. That's why I'm saying I want to raise the question. Cars involved. Why not box them in? Why they just let them people escape? They letting them bag down Madison. They could have boxed them cars in and started impounding cars, handing out some real serious consequences. You have actual vehicles right there. I think those vehicles are more dangerous than a crowd of kids on feet. And I got footage from that too. Yeah, so y'all just saying it. So again, like I said, this is dangerous. Shutting down the streets. And somehow this still don't get the same level of attention. No pressure, no blame, non-stop coverage, none of that. And I know there's a crowd of people out there talking about this not the same, this is harmless, and that's not true. Because people have actually lost their life around these takeovers too. There was a young man trying to get home from work about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. He got caught up in one of these takeovers and ended up losing his life. So let me play that clip for y'all real quick. I'm gonna pull it up for the family, man, because it's dangerous out here. But they frame it like these kids. I get it. It's some property damage and things, but let me play this clip.
Well, police are trying to find the gunman responsible for shooting and killing a man over the weekend. This happened during what police are calling a street takeover. MC5's Lisa Chavarria live for us at Chicago Police Headquarters. And Lisa, we understand police are actually looking for 2 shooters.
That's what we're learning, Michelle. Chicago police also put out a community alert
and
trying to see if they can identify the 2 people that they say are responsible for killing a driver who was caught in the chaos of this street takeover that happened over the weekend. Now, the shooting happened early Sunday morning in the Chicago Lawn neighborhood. The victim was identified as 20-year-old Guillermo Caballero. He was caught in the middle of this crowd and tried to drive through the group on 59th and Western early Sunday morning. Police say as he tried to get through that intersection, that's when 2 people shot into his car, killing him. Detectives are asking anyone with information, any additional video, or even pictures to send that to Chicago police. So they're asking for you to contact Area 1 detectives if you don't feel comfortable doing that.
I don't know the results of that case, but the footage of that young man losing his life is actually all over social media. Rest in peace to him. Trying to get home from work, get to a red light, and you're stuck because people doing donuts and shoot you because you try to make it across the intersection. So yeah, rest in peace to him. So let's stop acting like this some harmless side issue. People have died connected to these street takeovers. That's serious. So nobody can say the teen takeovers are more dangerous, but these street takeovers are. There's no big deal. No, we can't say that. These car takeovers are dangerous too. And if you ask me, they are way more dangerous than these teen takeovers. A lot of these kids are catching public transportation to get downtown, to downtown Chicago. They get to where they're going, and a lot of them make it home safe. The biggest issue there is usually too many kids creating a large crowd. The city can't handle it. But these car takeovers involve moving vehicles, blocking intersections, car doing donuts, fires, damaging vehicles, potential for crashes, potential for shootings, actual deaths tied to this chaos. So to me, these car takeovers are way more dangerous than a bunch of teenagers gathering up and moving around on foot. And I believe why these car takeovers don't get as much attention is because if the city really addressed this, oh man, it's gonna look ugly on them because they're gonna have to address an issue that they created. Seriously. And some of y'all are probably asking, what do I mean by that? These takeovers are largely Hispanic. And if they get to pulling these people over, locking people up, asking for identification, they're going to find a lot of their Venezuelan friends out there. And a lot of these others, they've been capping for the last 5-6 years. So yeah. This is what's going on out here in the streets, y'all. Y'all see this? But they talk about the teen takeover like it's man. Them kids down there, last incident I seen, some kids stole a teddy bear out of the store. And they brought the whole police department to shut down the train and everything else to find that teddy bear. And they had the nerve to get on the internet and brag about, oh man, we found this in an hour. Man, please, this shit is a joke. Like I say, well, for whatever reason, it feels like this stuff gets treated like a hidden secret in Chicago. People know what's going on. Social media sees it. The neighborhood sees it. But it just doesn't get publicized with the mainstream media. Yeah, if y'all rocking with me, y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. So at the end of the day, the question is simple. Why do black teen gatherings get treated like a full-blown crisis, while these street takeovers held by Hispanics doing donuts, vehicles being torn up, people even losing their lives, cars set on fire, don't get the same level of attention? Why is one all over the news, but the other feels like a hidden secret? Unless social media forces people to look at it. And these car takeovers are more dangerous. So why doesn't the city respond to them with the same pressure and urgency as the teen takeovers? Y'all let me know. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. And it's Don 773 TV. Church.